This is the Wevac CV10 chambered vacuum sealer, the most popular chambered vacuum sealer on Amazon, and it's loaded with intelligent features at a very affordable price of $300. In this video, we'll talk about the advantages of having a chambered vacuum sealer versus a more traditional edge sealer. Which, by the way, this machine has dual functionality and can do both. Most of you are familiar with vacuum sealing through Sous Vide, but they're capable of so much more. And a vacuum sealer is crucial in my kitchen because I bulk buy my meats when they're on sale and freeze them. So let's talk about the packaging and do a quick unboxing. The product arrives very well packaged and there's very minor assembly required. The seal bar is separate from the machine and the company reminds you to insert the seal bar before usage. Inside the chamber, you will find a spare roll of vacuum seal bags that you can cut at any length that you prefer, the power cable, pre-cut seal bags, a handy dandy little screwdriver, and I love when companies include tools, and an external suction hose if you wanted to vacuum seal your Tupperware. And of course, quick guide instructions and your user manual. Now let's go ahead and insert that seal bar. It simply just pops into place. That's it. That's all the assembly that's required. But this is a very important feature because it allows you to detail clean the machine. Something that I think the company does very well is they provide detailed instructions, and if you're a beginner to vacuum sealing, they really walk you through the process. Speaking of, the company provides a very detailed video tutorial on how to get started, the basics to vacuum sealing, and all of the features that this chambered vacuum sealer provides on Amazon. Okay, now why would somebody invest in a chambered vacuum sealer versus the typical edge sealers that you'll find in most shops? Well, in my opinion, I think a chambered vacuum sealer is geared towards more of the professional cook or the chef or maybe a butcher shop or something like that. A chambered vacuum sealer is also a little bit better in terms of getting the correct seal because the chamber is removing air both within the chamber and inside the bag. So you're getting an equally pressurized environment within that chamber, which translates to you're going to get a better seal and remove more air, and your food's going to last longer if you're going to store it. But one of the biggest advantages and pros to chambered vacuum sealers, you can seal liquids or marinades without really having to worry about it because of that equally pressurized environment. Let me show you guys what I mean. I have some liquids that I saved for a broth later on. In an edge sealer, this would be a nightmare. I'm going to place the bag inside the chamber, making sure that I align the edge of the bag to the clip. It properly fastens the bag in place and allows a gap during vacuum chamber sealing for marinades and liquids. The vacuum sealer has a custom button function, but I'm just going to use the smart button function because I notice it takes all of the guesswork out for me and it's accurate 99% of the time. The machine features a handy pressure gauge, allowing you to see exactly what's going on, and once all of the air has been sucked out, the machine automatically starts sealing. The whole process took seconds, and with an edge sealer, I would have had a mess on my hands. This chambered vacuum sealer was bone dry, with no leaks, and the machine took care of all of the guesswork, and the bag was perfectly sealed. Now, there are some cons, right? Usually, chambered vacuum sealers cost a bit more. An edge sealer typically will be a lot cheaper than a chambered vacuum sealer. But of course, a big advantage to edge sealers, they're less bulky, less heavy. You can actually take it with you and it's a little bit more easier to carry around. Not to mention, most edge sealers will have an area or a compartment where you can store rolls of your favorite plastic bags. And then you can pull those bags out and measure them to whatever size that you need for whatever job that you need. And most of them come with a razor cutter that will cut the bag for you and you can make your own bags, right? A lot easier with edge sealers. Chambered vacuum sealers, you can still do it, but you got to grab your own scissors and it's not going to be as neat. So those are really the biggest pros and cons that I can think of.
So what if you have a really thick steak or something that just simply won't fit in the chamber? Well, you have nothing to worry about because, as I said earlier, this vacuum sealer has dual functionality. Yeah, that's right. You can also use it as an edge sealer. I put this 2.5-inch ribeye, really it's a roast at this point, in a pre-cut bag. Make sure you press down the clip so you can use the edge sealer functionality. And here's another issue that you may run into. The width of the bag exceeds the maximum width of the chamber. It's no big deal. Later on, I'll talk about how I overcame this by simply sealing one edge of the bag and vacuum sealing the other edge. This 2.5-inch ribeye roast is perfectly sealed and ready for sous vide. This is an extremely versatile chamber sealer. Again, you're just not going to find these features at this price point. In goes the ribeye roast in the sous vide, and we're going to cook it to an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit or until medium rare. And I'm going to leave it to do its thing and come back when it's time to sear. Not only did I get the perfect steak, but I was able to vacuum seal ribeye that was dry aged for 45 days to be used on other special occasions.
Now, when we're talking about this product in particular, I really do like it. I feel like it's a great budget-friendly option. I mean, this was unheard of like 5 years ago, to get a chambered vacuum sealer that's this good, this accurate, and can do so much at this price. I really love that you can both do chambered vacuum seals or edge sealing if you need to. I mean, it's extremely versatile. And the gauge on it is fantastic. You can see exactly what's happening during the vacuum sealing process, and you can tell right away if something's wrong. That's extremely valuable. I do a lot of dry aging. I want to make sure after I've done dry aged everything, all my expensive steaks are being vacuum sealed perfectly before I store them in the freezer. Likewise, my son just turned 6 months old, so he's starting to eat baby food. We are cooking his vegetables and fruits, and then we are vacuum sealing them and storing them for him. So he has fresh food ready all the time. It's just so affordable. Now, it is a tad bit smaller than I'm used to. For example, when I did that 2-inch ribeye, it's a pretty thick ribeye steak. It wasn't a big deal because it has the edge sealing feature. But if you feel like you need a larger chamber, the company actually has a model that's a little bit bigger. Overall, I think it's fantastic. And I will leave a link to the product in the description below. And like always, guys, if you found this video informative, please consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.